iCarly in 3, 2.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Chida Talk podcast. Bienvenida, mi gente chida. First of all, I would like to apologize for no new episodes in the last couple of weeks. We've been having a couple of health issues, but gracias a Dios, we're better now. As you can see, we're back in the studio. And what better to jump off our next episode than with my brother Julio? Some of you may know him as Con Tiempo.
Hello,
Welcome,
hello.
Julio. Welcome,
Hey, hey, hey.
bro. I'm glad that you're the next guest after a little break.
Mm-hmm.
We've been planning this on shooting, but I had a little bit of renovations going on in the studio,
Yeah.
but we're finally back. And better than ever. I hope you guys missed us. I definitely missed shooting. I definitely missed making content. And now, what better than to make content with someone that's also on the grind to make content, to bring the culture up. So yeah, let's get started. Well, welcome guys, welcome once again, welcome back to the Cheeto Talk podcast. I'm DJ Nova, your host. Today we got our special guest, Con Tiempo. A lot of you guys know him. Man, pushing culture, pushing clothing, garments, pushing
De
events,
todo. Events now, right?
pushing P almost. Like, bro, we're pushing everything. But
Yeah, bro. Echándole
bro,
ganas.
welcome. Tell us a little bit about, let's get started with
Yeah.
it. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's start from the beginning. I like to go as a timeline. Let's start from the beginning.
Yeah.
Let's go back in time, before Con Tiempo, before the events, growing up. Where'd you grow up, or all of that. Start from A to Z, basically.
Yeah, before the Hola mi gente.
Before that, hola mi gente, yo, I love that.
That's my catchphrase, man.
I love that. Hola mi gente. Every time I'm scrolling, hola mi gente, I'm like, oh, it's his video. It's his video.
Yo, it's like when you hear something, like you hear like a whisper.
No,
"Hola,
but
mi
you see,
gente."
that's like your signature thing. Like you gotta keep that. You can't like.
Oh yeah, oh man, that's
you,
it.
you gotta
That's my
keep that.
catchphrase. Hola mi
Yeah,
gente.
you gotta
When
keep
you
that.
hear Hola mi gente, just remember that's con tiempo.
That's Con Tiempo. But yeah, before hola mi gente,
Mhm.
tell us about how's your basically everything. The childhood, the culture.
Yeah.
Growing up in New York,
No, yeah.
and Paisa. Tell us all of that.
No, yeah. I grew up in Washington Heights. You already know,
Okay,
Little
Washington
Dominican
Heights.
Republic and all of that. Um, well, growing up there, I really didn't have anyone to look up to. With the Mexican community, Mexican culture, I didn't know,
Shout out to Washington Heights, Uptown.
yeah,
all
yeah,
that.
I love it. I love that I grew up there too. But it's like, growing up there, the Mexican community wasn't as big.
Right.
Maybe there was like a lot, but we weren't out there. We weren't like how it is now.
Yeah,
with
how it is now,
everyone,
yeah.
Like the culture, everyone's just like happy and that they're Mexican. But
Yeah.
before, if you lived through that time, like when I was younger, I'm gonna be honest, most people didn't were proud to be Mexican.
Yeah, it was like a little. I forgot who we talked about this too. Where like even in school, when you used to go to school, like now, like you got kids dancing cumbia at
Hell
lunchtime.
yeah,
In between
hell yeah,
periods,
bro.
they're dancing cumbia. Back then, like you would hide that shit. You would
Oh
almost
yeah,
like.
no, definitely. I remember I knew someone. She would lie that she was a different ethnicity, and
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah.
wait, hold up, what are you talking about? Like you full on
Say,
Mexican.
what you mean? Your mom is my comadre with my mom.
But I'm like, I remember these things that stay in your head, and I'm just like, damn. Before it really wasn't like a popular thing, how it was. People weren't really proud, or
Yeah.
it was just because there wasn't so many of us out there. I think it was
Yeah.
just that. So throughout the years as growing up too, I just again, my first time I went to Mexico was when I was 16.
Okay.
I was 16.
So you know Sabo or you Sabo?
Nah, I'm no sabo as
No
hell,
Sabo.
bro.
Oh,
No
my
sabo
God.
as
We're
hell.
about to do some no
Yo.
Sabo questions, right? We're
No
about to
Sabo.
cook him, chat.
No, no sabo as hell. But I was just, I went to Mexico for the first time. The experience was great. The food,
What
the
part of Mexico did you go
music.
to? Or what part of Mexico are you
Well,
from?
I'm from Oaxaca.
Oh, Oaxaca. Oh, shout out
Yeah,
to
yeah.
Oaxaca.
That's when I found out there's not a lot of Oaxaqueños either.
No, there's not.
Yeah.
What? Well,
Depending
being a
what
DJ,
area.
like I actually discovered that there. Well, you would think that there isn't. You would think like because we live. Well, me here in Queens or whatever. There's a lot of people from Puebla. That's
Well, I
why-
mean, this place is called Puebla, York.
Yeah, Puebla,
Oh,
you
love,
call
shout
it.
out to Puebla, York.
Yeah, but
shout out to
actually
Poblanos.
DJing with these like the weddings and all that, you realize that there is a like maybe now, but before definitely there wasn't like a lot of that I knew at
Yeah,
least that are like people from Oaxaca. Now like I in every weekend there's somebody from Oaxaca. Sometimes I do 3-4 events and
Nah, yeah, yeah.
one of them is from Oaxaca.
It's funny because too, I didn't even know it was such a not a common thing to see Oaxaqueños. Because I'm like, you know what? I'm just happy we're all Mexican.
Yeah,
But
fact.
there's always a diversity too. I noticed that now.
Yeah.
Oh, what pueblo you from?
It's
Where you
like
from?
the
I'm like, what the hell?
yeah,
What the hell?
yeah. Like you lost me there. Like,
Yeah, I'm like,
what
what?
pueblo I'm from? Yeah, you lost me
All
there,
right, you see,
bro.
like, what we doing now? Like, and I told them, I'm like, I'm Oaxaca. They're like, wow. I'm like, what is this? Like, what are we doing here? Like, what is the
Yeah,
wow about?
yeah.
And no, then they were like, oh yeah, it's usually like a lot of poblanos and it's not like you don't really see a lot of Oaxaqueños. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm different. I get it. Knowing that since birth.
I'm different. Yeah.
No, but yeah, from growing up, the only person I had to look up to was my mom. A single mother. My parents got divorced, so I was always looking up to her. Vending with her as a kid in
Okay.
middle school. Like while the kids were playing, I was out there like cargando agua frescas, peeling the oranges.
Oh, you were.
Selling
Oh,
the.
okay. You were in
I was a
that.
street vendor. I
Oh,
was a
yeah.
street vendor
Okay.
and all that
Cool.
since I was young, man. That's how I would get like my PSP and all of that. How to work with
Right.
it,
Yeah.
like
You were.
I was selling flowers. I hated all of that. I'm gonna be honest. Like I really, but
Yeah.
it's something now that I appreciate because it taught
Of
me.
course, it's a life lesson that you learn, and it's good that you learn it early on because these fucking kids nowadays,
Yeah.
don't,
No.
they
Yeah.
don't.
Oh man, they don't know. Spoiled ass kids,
Yeah,
man.
spoiled ass kids, bro. It's like they don't know the true grind of what it is to acquire your own things, on your own, your. I remember the first time, I've done this one time, where like I never was a street vendor. Well, like my mom never was like. Oh, well, my dad was like kind of like the head of the household, so he like took care of like everything pretty
He's like, I
much.
never struggled. Your brown and my brown is different.
No, no, tampoco, tampoco.
Nah, nah,
They was
it's no
struggle.
jokes. It's no jokes.
Oh, weak. Yo, clip that chat.
My brown and your brown is different.
No, not in that sense. But look, I'll tell you this much. I did at one point. I mean, I guess it was like because I wanted to go to. I forget what I wanted to do. I wanted to go to Chuck E. Cheese or something like that.
Oh,
I
yeah?
was like 10 or something like that, or something young.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was, but my mom was like, "Okay, si quieres, te lo vas a ganar," and I'm like, "I'm 10, bro. What the fuck? Where the fuck? Who's gonna hire me?"
Yeah.
She's like, "Listen, there's a lot of ways to make money. You're in New York. There's a lot of ways to make money." She's like, "One of the ways is picking up bottles that cost 5 cents. You pick up a bunch of them, and then you
Oh,
got a
wait.
dollar."
Yeah.
And I was like, "No way." And she was like, "Yeah." And then she showed me the spot where, like, and I always wondered that people would bring like the big bags
No,
of,
yeah.
bottles, when we used to go grocery shopping, and I used to see them, and I always questioned it, like, what great people, they're doing a service to the community, and I didn't know they were getting paid for it, like, they got paid for it, I thought it was just like they're volunteering or something like that,
Yeah.
and then in my mind, I'm like, well, I mean, easy enough, big
Yeah.
bottle. To come to find out that it's not as easy as you think, and then I did that, and I remember like I hustled the whole day. The whole day I was like looking around for bottles, like went to the park and like did it all, and I rounded up like what was it, like $10, which nowadays is like compared
That's
to like
nothing.
$100,
Yeah, yeah.
like $10 worth of bottles, and that showed me like that kind of like started opening my eyes, like damn, like my parents do this, everybody else does this to like and mind you, I was gathering money to go, play at Chuck E. Cheese. There's a lot of people that do this to really live.
No,
You go, and
yeah.
especially in New York, you go outside, at 6 in the morning, there's gonna be somebody collecting the
Oh,
bottles.
hell yeah, yeah.
And that's just like, a tier of like what people in New York.
I mean, it's a hustle. NYC is always
yeah,
known as a
yeah,
hustle.
basically, yeah.
It's a capitalist state. Like you were nonstop working.
Yeah, yeah.
you know?
Especially here that you can't have one thing going on for you. You have to have multiple things going on,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
else
yeah.
you don't survive here. But yeah, keep going. I'm sorry I interrupted.
No,
the story.
yeah,
Keep
yeah.
going.
Like, thank you for letting me know that your brown, my brown is different.
No, never that. We all struggle.
No, but yeah, from there, I saw my mom how she took care of 3 kids, me, my younger sister, and then my little brother. And so, as I'm getting older, I would see my dad here and there.
There was 3 of you, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Three
it
of
was
you,
3.
okay.
So my mom's single, they're divorced, they're going through their whole divorce, man, the divorce and all of that. And I really had to change, my perspective in life. Like, now I'm the man of the house.
Right. When did this happen? When did
I think I was 10. I
Oh,
was
damn.
10 or 9.
Yeah, my brown and
Yeah.
your brown definitely.
He was out here collecting.
Nah, I'm playing.
His problem was Chuck E. Cheese.
Oh,
My problem.
oh, jokes. My brown was Chuck E. Cheese. No, funny enough, like that you say that. Sorry to interrupt, but funny enough, like I come from a broken family too. Except it was like it happened later on in my teenage years, so I can't relate. Like like you could say my brown and your brown, but I mean I did have both my parents as a kid, like going to the park and stuff like that. My dad hardly, you know, the typical dad, like Mexican dad, like always working, always this, so never really present. But I did go through a little bit of the like, well, I really went through that, and it's crazy because you would think like as a teenager you don't it wouldn't really affect you, but it takes a toll on you, and the worst part is it takes a toll on you later on in your adult life, your
Are we
young
having
adult
like a
life.
struggle battle right now?
Yeah, pulling out the cards.
You fully got the cards. Wait, hold up.
Play the
No, but
fucking
yeah,
violin. No,
no, yeah.
we're definitely having a struggle battle, but yo, but it's true. Like
No,
these
no,
like things that happen in life that are out of your control.
no, no, yeah, yeah.
They're it's crazy because they come and mess you up later on in life. Obviously, you know, our parents, we can't question the decisions they
Hmm.
did. Although some parents I would question the decisions they make, but you know, our parents, like, you know, there was a struggle part. It was like they're
Hmm.
doing this for the first time. They're doing for the first
I'm gonna give
time.
you one thing that I don't know if you noticed now as you're older that during the time they were coming, they came here. We have to understand they came here was nothing,
Yeah,
and at the same time too, by the time they were like just 20 or 21, they were already adults having kids.
yeah,
They never made those mistakes that we probably already going through and all of
yeah,
that. They had to go through that just
yeah.
straight
They
from the
had to
beginning.
do go that
They
like
skipped like a bunch of other steps.
yeah. They went through real problems. You
Yeah,
know, they went
yeah,
through real problems. You know.
and there's something also like sometimes you understand the getting divorced, like they were married at a young age.
Yeah,
Usually now you date to figure out who is the one for you, who's that. From when you're in Mexico, you just get married right away.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
sometimes you don't get to know each other, you don't get to know yourself either. So I'm just like, you kind of understand it, which is
yeah.
still, it's sad getting divorced, all of that. But I again, I see my mom working hard. She's my biggest motivator. And as I got older, I think I was 23, 22. That's when, yeah, I would say I was 22 or 23. That's when my mom, she was able to go, she finished her house in Mexico,
Okay,
and she was able to go back to Mexico.
okay,
I think she got her green card.
okay.
And she told me, she was like, it took me a lot of hard work. It took me like 20 to 23 years to do. And now finally I was able to achieve everything I wanted to do.
Wow, that's amazing.
And from there, I was just like, this is
She
something my
really
mom
did
could
the
do it.
American dream.
Yeah, yeah. And being a single mom too, and I was just like, wow, if my mom could do this, I could do this too.
Yeah,
I want to send a message. I want to something that, motivates the kids, the young adults, people like us.
yeah,
And so I decided to start a clothing brand, and I named it Con Tiempo because, Con Tiempo, with time, any goals or dreams that you have, you can get there, but it's hard work, consistency, and patience.
and with time,
Patience
yeah,
is patience is one thing that I feel like we lack in such a fast-paced society.
yeah, and it's
W-
getting worse and worse and worse. Like
Oh
the
yeah.
attention span we have for anything is
Oh yeah,
sucks.
yeah. It's like it's because of social media, we feel like we're supposed to get there overnight. That's not
Mm-hmm.
me and you. We both know that's not how it works.
No, yeah,
You're gonna have way more downs than ups, but those ups, they're gonna be just like wow.
yeah,
I'm gonna be honest. When I first started Con Tiempo, the first year, I only sold 20 shirts. I didn't sell nothing more than that. I didn't know what to do. Then from there, I was looking through social media. I was trying like I gotta figure this out.
when did you start? 22?
I started it. I started in 2020. My
2020,
brand,
okay,
yeah. I think I was maybe 21. No,
20,
no, no. I was 22.
okay.
I was 22 actually. Yeah, I was 22.
So like this is like during COVID, you're like
Yeah,
thinking
yeah.
about
That's
all
when I
of this.
started. Yeah, yeah.
You think COVID affected the fact that you were like, okay, I'm sitting home, that we can't go out. Like, let me start something.
Yeah, I wanted to start something. I had just stopped doing one thing. Actually, people don't know. I was actually like a music manager.
Hmm.
Yeah, I was trying to like help out like this person, a close fam, this person.
Shout out to this person.
Shout out to this person. I don't talk to this person no more. No shade, no nothing, but that's it. So but then I was like, why am I trying to work so hard for this person and I'm not working hard on myself?
Right.
You know, um, and so that's when I started. I decided to do Con Tiempo.
Okay.
And from there, I hit up my boy Rojas. Shout out to my boy Rojas, who's my designer for every season. I told him like, hey, like I want to start a brand, and I told him everything about it and why. He was like, are you down? Are you serious about it? I'm like,
Right.
yeah, yeah. So I hired him, and he's like, you know what? I'm putting this time and effort for you because I believe in what you're saying.
Right.
All right. And so from there, we're going through the drafts. We're going, and then from there, we got our first design, which is Hay más tiempo que vida.
Is that the one with the lowrider?
No, that's the that. Oh, you're skipping seasons. That's
Yeah?
that's the season was the loteria.
Oh, okay, okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
it was yeah. So that's when that one started, and
Kind of like that. Like
yeah,
for
exactly.
those that
Yeah.
don't know, I'll show it on screen a little like a loteria card. If you know, you know,
Hmm.
loteria card.
So it was inspired from that game, and I was like, I love it. So we did this, again, going out, skipping forward to where I was at. I didn't know where to go about into selling more of the shirts. How to get Con Tiempo known out there. Because again, I wasn't really of a much as a social person that's out there. In high school,
Right.
I was very like to myself. I had my group of friends. I wasn't really like on huge on like knowing this, going to parties, going to events. I was just
Right,
to
right. You're
myself.
more like to yourself.
Yeah, yeah. I was just home playing video games, and that's it.
Okay.
Staying playing all night, video games, eating my chips, eating my stuff. I was very overweight, guys.
Me too. Facts.
Yeah. So I was never about the parties. I never this and that. And so I'm like, now I have to get more social. I have to talk to people. I have to, find a way of how to get, influencing people, to
Right.
want to buy it because they don't know me at all. So they're like, why should I buy your stuff?
Right. Yeah.
So I find this market, one of the first markets I ever started here in NYC, and I'm gonna get them shout out to Plaza Proletaria. They were the
Okay.
first market
Shout out
to
to
ever,
them.
do the step in creating a little marqueta like a tianguis, a mercado for the
Right.
people and keeping them safe. And so I went and I asked, can I be a vendor? And they were like, yeah, yeah. From there, I started vending.
It was like an indoor
It was
spot.
outside. It was on Sunset Park.
Okay. Cool.
Sunset Park. I would say Sunset Park. That's when the first plaza happened.
Is that the one viral video you have? I think I've seen in your page. You have like
Yeah,
that
yeah, in
one viral
TikTok.
video.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
where
was
you're like
right.
setting it up and
Yeah,
stuff.
that was my first
The
time
wind
vending.
kept knocking over
Yeah,
your
yeah, yeah,
side.
freaking. That was my first time vending too. That video was my
Oh,
first
yeah?
time ever vending. Yeah, and so from there, people were watching because it's a big Mexican community in Sunset Park.
Yeah, yeah.
So if you
Shout
were
out to
looking at my
Sunset Park,
design,
Fifth Ave, all of that.
that's like my second home.
Yeah, yeah.
Fifth Ave, Sunset Park is my second home. And they loved the shirts. They were like, "Oh man, I like this." I started doing more content. I
Yeah.
brought out season 2, which is the butterfly.
Okay.
The
All right.
butterfly design, and then from butterfly design is just symbolizes growth. That's why it's a caterpillar, a cocoon, and a butterfly.
Okay, cool. Yeah, makes sense.
El cambio no ocurre de la noche a mañana, which again, symbolizes, change doesn't happen overnight. You have to keep working hard. You
Right.
have to work hard on yourself and all of that. And so as I'm traveling too, I go to LA with my homies. I'm seeing like, the lowriders. I'm seeing the community. And
Yeah.
it's dope. And that's when the
The
inspiration
culture there is amazing,
Oh,
bro.
hella
I
amazing.
need to go to the West Coast to record something. If everybody's watching in the West Coast and want to shoot an episode, hit my line, bro. I really want to go though.
If you
I want
want
to get
him,
inspired by
if
it,
you
bro.
want him to judge you about your brown and his brown, yo, shoot him up. Give him throw a DM.
Listen, I was struggling to pay for my Chuck E. Cheese. Okay, struggles are struggles. At the end of the day, struggles are struggles.
No.
Listen, I won't judge, but I may judge a little bit. No, I'm playing.
No, but yeah, we go through so that inspired the lowrider, for season 3. I told my homeboy and he was like, yeah, let's do this and that. That's why in the back you see the lowrider, but in back of the lowrider you see the NYC
Yeah.
and all of that too. And I was like, yo, I would always love to probably have some lowriders to do a photo shoot with these. Again, I didn't really know that many people, I was just still starting off social media. Most people knew Con Tiempo, but not until like the point that people know now.
Right.
Not meaning to say that I feel like a lot of people know
Right.
Con Tiempo. I'm still working hard. I'm doing my best, guys, and I hope you like my events. I hope you like me.
I hope you invite me. I gotta call him out. I hope you invite me. I texted him last night, yo, bro, what time your event ends? He's like, bro, don't even come. It already ended. No, I'm like, he didn't say that. He didn't say that. But I couldn't make it.
No, but yeah, I started the lowrider thing. I started, a lot of people influenced me through social media too, towards my photo shoots and everything. Also, I was following Ruby, owner of Sueño Buenos. Such a great model. Her aesthetic, the way she
Yeah.
does things, the way her definition of her store, I just loved everything about it. And then again, also like as many of y'all know, Brooklyn John. He brought the
shout out to
lowrider
Brooklyn
scenes
John.
here. Puras fallas, who's that dude? Happy birthday too. Today's his
Yeah,
birthday.
shout out to Brooklyn John. Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Go check out his episode if you haven't.
Yeah.
I'll leave it linked down below.
30 years of puras fallas. That's crazy.
30 years of puras fallas.
When he was born, he didn't even
30
cry.
years. That's crazy. Shout out to my brother, Brooklyn John, officially Unk status. Shout out to my brother, Brooklyn John. His episode was great, by the way. Go check it out. Also pushing culture in a major way.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Oh yeah, look, I have the seasons mixed. Season 3 wasn't Lowrider. Season 3 was Tonantzin. Then I brought actually Tonantzin. So I skip ahead. I brought Tonantzin. Tonantzin was the Virgin Mary, but I wanted to do something different. And I was learning more about the Virgin Mary, and I learned about the before we got colonized and Catholicism was enforced into us, how
Right.
we had our goddess Tonantzin, and it was very similar to the same story as the Virgin Mary. And so I was like, you know what, I want to do something with this. And that's when I brought out me and my homie were like doing the designs. We are like, let me make something different here and this and that. I was really scared to bring that one out, just because you're doing something different.
Right.
You know what it means. But just changing putting the name Tonantzin there, people ask, and the way the design looks too, they're like, what is this? Like, or
Yeah.
why are you doing this? I would have dreams about it too, like people hating the design and all of
Yeah.
that. But when I brought it out, people loved it. Everyone was like, "Oh, finally someone brought something like this out," or like, "Hey, like I've been knowing about this.
Right.
Like, thank you for bringing this out." Like I studied this and I learned about it, and I was just like, "Whoa, okay." Sometimes it's just take the risk. Don't be scared to take
Yeah.
risks.
Yeah. Facts. Sometimes, and it's crazy because sometimes it's like it always be happening where like the project you put the most time and most energy in doesn't go the way you think it should, and then the project that you're just like, this might not work. You drop it, and it
Mm-hmm.
like blows like completely up.
No, yeah, definitely. I was just like, oh, okay. I was just so happy, but it was very scary. Then we bring out the lowrider. The lowrider went good too. Everyone liked the lowrider. Now people love that one design too. And from there, I was doing my best and of nonstop. Things were a bit getting slowed down. Not many sales, not many markets. I had to figure out like how to do
What do you
things.
think? What were you producing, or like season by season? Like how much were you producing, shirts wise? Was it
Um,
like getting like substantial, or was it like something more calm?
it was more calm. It was like up and downs. Some days I will make a lot of sales, some like slow, or sometimes not at all. Like
Okay.
usually for every season I only have 300, like 300 copies. I would
Okay.
say like copies, 300. So I'll have those either in tote bags and T-shirts, but of the
Oh, a
print,
mixture,
of the yeah
total,
yeah,
total.
but of the prints like that design only 300. So once those 300 are done, they're done. I'm not
Oh,
bringing them back out. Like they're
okay.
done. I sold out of the first season. I tried to print more, and they're like, "Oh, you're actually done. Like, you don't have no more. You want to do another one?" I'm like, "No." I'm like, "Wow!" And they were like, "Congratulations, man, 300. You sold
Yeah.
all of them." And so from there, I go. It was getting slow. I was. Now we're going to a topic where like I was getting lost. I was stop being a little consistent by season 4. I
Okay.
was going out a lot. I would drink a lot. Go to my problem with alcoholism. I was just like, I would drink every 3 days, every 2 days, nonstop. And when I drank, I would drink until like amanecer.
Okay.
And it got to a point where even my homies, like my closest friends, my best friend, and even my designer, they were like, "Yo, Julio, like
What
you."
do you think brought that? Like the drinking? Would you call it a drinking problem?
Oh yeah, I would say I was an alcoholic, like a strong alcoholic.
And what do you think? Where did that root from? What's the? Because usually that's how it's happened. Like people could say like, oh, I just drink for fun. Usually it's never that.
No, 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 no. I used to just drink like for fun, all that. But then after like I got older, you know, um, later in my 20, 23, 24, I was getting a bit more sad, a bit more like angry and aggressive.
Where did that aggression come from? You think it was like from like personal family stuff?
I just feel like I was just mad at myself because, I wasn't, I knew I wasn't doing the best I could, and I
You
felt
wasn't
stuck.
fulfilling your full potential.
And I just felt like I was just stuck. And when I was depressed too. I suffer from depression, and I just that's just the best way I could cope with it. My former partner, she will deal with all of that before too, with me being drunk, taking care of me. And I now as I'm older, that's my ex now, but I was just like, damn, putting her all through that, it was just like it was something.
Yeah.
And it was, and even my mom too, she worried about me and all of that too. My dad used to be a big alcoholic also. He's sober now. He's been like 5, 6 years sober.
You think that like because I'm just trying to figure out where that like I'm not no what do you
No, no,
call it, no therapist,
no,
but
no, no.
I mean I feel like that it definitely had to root like there's a deeper issue. I mean And I'm not knocking the fact that you probably wanted to like push more and you wanted to feel that full potential. You
Hmm.
feel like you weren't getting there or A, B, or C, right? But there, I feel like it's more than one factor. There, I feel like look that I mean, man, I even my family like to this day is like I don't know how you didn't become an alcoholic or something even crazier, based on what I went through. Like we were playing around with the brown struggles
No,
and
no, yeah, yeah, it's no
the
jokes.
verses.
Era mascarilla,
Yeah,
chillax.
but there's a lot of moments like in the deeper.
Hmm.
I went in depth a little bit in my first episode.
Hmm.
Shameless plug. Go watch my first episode. But you know I could have ended up like that or worse,
No, yeah,
because
yeah.
not only was I around, mind you, I'm a DJ. I'm a DJ first,
No, yeah,
right
yeah.
now podcasting, but I'm a DJ first,
Hmm.
so I was always around partying, drinking, other substances, like everything at a young age. We're talking about like 13, 14, 15, those were like the years where like I could have made the wrong decision, I could have made the wrong turn that would have ended up. And like I told you before, like I'm a drinker, like I can drink like so. Invítame a sus fiestas. I can drink like you invite me. I'll have
Yeah,
fun.
yeah.
I'll have a drink. I'll have shots, whatever. But I don't do it often. I'm not like especially right now since I'm like really trying to be really heavy into fitness. Like those two things don't align. And
Yeah.
even that like we were talking before we even started shooting. Like bro, the liquor like right now it's like people make it seem like it's so fun and it's popular, which it is. Like
Hmm.
in like in moderation. In moderation, where you make sure it doesn't affect your life, it doesn't affect
Yeah.
people around you. But when you let it take over your life like that, like it's hard to come back from. And that's what I'm
No,
saying.
yeah.
Like there's definitely a root to
Hmm.
where this came from, and maybe it was like a compound of several things, like your parents maybe not being together, seeing your mom struggle, you trying to help out, you trying to like, because I'm telling you because like that's a little bit of what I went through. Like
Hmm.
um I mean, I didn't see my mom struggle. I mean, obviously, I saw my mom struggle, but not like not like to pay because luckily my when my parents separated, my dad took like he did what a typical man would do, like, and I don't say this by to be machista, but my dad, he manned up. He
No,
covered
yeah.
all the expenses on, so my mom didn't really have to worry
No,
like
yeah.
that. Um, but I definitely saw my mom struggle in other ways. That when you feel helpless, you can't you know what can at that age what how can you help
No, yeah,
how
yeah.
can you help and that helplessness you trying to find yourself
Hmm.
you're going through your own like whether it's relationship problems with a girl you're
No,
going
yeah,
through
yeah.
you're trying to be better in life trying to do this trying to achieve your goals and especially now on Instagram and social media where you see this 18-year-old has this much and then this 20-year-old
No,
has
yeah,
this
yeah.
going on so that's what I'm saying like there had to be a route to
No, yeah, yeah.
like
I mean, my drinking started when I was younger. It's always was the group also that you're with. The group
yeah
that used to chill before it, they used to always nonstop want to drink.
right
And so that was like why I got started getting used to it. So the more you do it, the more it becomes the thing. But then when you let go of that group, then you're all by yourself. But you still want to. You still that thing
right
continues. Like my boys, like my close friends now, like my role has my best friend. You know, they're not drinkers. So I became ended up drinking alone. I would most of the time just
oh
drink
okay.
alone. I'll go to a bar and I'll be drinking by myself. I'll just get drunk by myself. I have maybe before I would be
So have you ever
at
played Loteria El Borracho? That's him.
yeah, that's me, bro. Don't worry. you know, I would drink from like 10 p.m. at the bar and I'll leave there like at 5 a.m. And
Damn.
so all my money would end up just going there. Like
Oh,
everything.
that's another thing, right? It like
Yeah.
sucks up all your funds.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. And it was just something that I was struggling nonstop. My mom will be crying. She'll be like, "Yo, like I don't know, like what are you doing? Like I'm worried about you. I'm staying up until you get home, and I'm
What
here
age did this
realizing
start?
this.
Like your
My
drinking
drinking,
problem?
I was 18.
Oh damn.
I
Okay.
was 18. I started
Allegedly.
drinking. Allegedly. I was 21.
21.
I forgot the age. No, but yeah,
Is that his problem started? His drinking problem started in Mexico, which is legally in Mexico, drink at 18.
yeah.
So that's what happened. That's what happened.
But it was just becoming bad. It was my last year drinking was I think it was last year because I already made a year being sober. I was just going downhill nonstop. I made some big mistakes that end up leading to my breakup. And it changed. I made some mistakes that I never thought I would make.
Right.
Something that I was just like, wow. I became you know,
You became the
the
person you didn't want to
yeah, the
become.
apple doesn't fall far from the tree. You know,
Yeah,
I was like, wow, everything that I didn't like, I said I would never do.
you
Look at
become.
me now.
Yeah,
And I was like, you know, that's why I always now I think about like, don't judge because you never done
yeah,
it, because
yeah.
you never know how it is.
I mean, we're naive. When we're young, we're like naive as fuck.
Yeah.
We're like, I'm never gonna do it. Like, I'm never gonna put someone through that. I'm never
Yeah.
gonna, you know. And then look what ends up happening.
Oh
Like,
hell yeah.
or sometimes, which is worse, is that you come out worse. You come out, you know,
Yeah.
way worse than someone you saw and like, oh yeah, I'm never gonna do that, and then you just become worse.
Oh
And
hell yeah! Like I and you know, it was just like terrible. And after that happened too, I was just nonstop again, just falling into more drinking, into the alcohol, to a point where I was just getting lost. I one of the one times I got scared is I got lost in the Bronx. I started drinking the Heights, but then I saw it was in the morning already, and I saw myself. I was walking around the Bronx drunk and scared, because I was like, I don't know where I'm at. It was raining. I was drenched in rain. My shoes, all my clothes was just. And for so gladly, I still had battery on my phone to call an Uber and get home safe. But I will tell you that I stopped and I stood there
like it was down bad.
and I was crying. I was crying so bad because I was like, "Where? What am I doing?"
Right.
I got home, I changed, and I knocked out, and I just woke up the next day. And the sad thing too, it was like that wasn't even the final straw. I went again 2 days after to drink again. Um, I forget this one, but I know I drank again. I was like drinking all the way into the morning. Um, I sat by the park and I was looking at the sunrise, and then I was like looking at my drink, and I was like, I want to do this some more. Like something just clicks. It's always that one thing that just
Yeah.
clicks in your head, and just like I remember that day too. It was like you're looking at sunrise. I I just ended up going home. I went to work late, but I was just like, I remember looking at sunrise. I was like, I don't want this no more. This is not what I want for me. I don't, I don't like it. It's no longer something I
Right. And
enjoy.
then, did you feel like I feel like when you get that moment, like just you got a playback of all the bad shit that just
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
what led you to be up to that point.
hmm Like I lost this person that I loved. I worrying my mom. I'm risking my life. I want to say if I didn't change my life from there, I wouldn't be alive right now. Then all these events I've done with my team, it would have never happened. I will honest to God say that I would have never done any of this.
Damn.
I would really like I was going really down bad to a place where I'm just like it's scary to think about.
Right.
My best friend, she would tell me one time, she's like also she hit me up. She was like, "Hey, like I saw you walking around drunk. Are you okay?" Because she saw me from her building. And I'm like, yeah, I'm already. I got home safe. She's like, I never want to see you again like that. I just hope you know that. You look so down. You look so bad. Since she has my location. Shout out to my best friend Leslie. She was like, I made sure to check that you got home. I was on my phone. I was like, wow, you have these many people that love you,
Yeah.
and you think about all of that. And I'm just like, what am I doing? What am I doing with my life? You know, they believe in me. They're believing Con Tiempo. I'm just in myself. Like I'm disrespecting them just by not giving my all, not changing. And so yeah, I became sober, and that's what influenced La Vida es una lucha, as in the struggle in life. You know, we're all battling something within ourselves, and I was just like, you know what, this is something that connects with me, and I hope connects with everyone.
Yes. And let's give a big shout out to yourself. How long you said you've been sober now?
Over a year.
Over a year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Let's give a big round of applause for yourself because
yeah,
it's
yeah.
I was watching this one video yesterday where it's like a lot of us don't think about the small. It's crazy how like the analogy they were giving was kind of like ridiculous, but it was like so true. Like, do you ever applaud yourself for like carrying your child and then not dropping them? And you're like, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like it's ridiculous. Like, no,
Yeah,
you never thank yourself for
yeah, yeah.
not dropping your own kid,
No,
right?
no, yeah, yeah.
But it's just that's how small like the victories you have to congratulate yourself because no one else is gonna do it.
No, yeah.
No one, and it's like what you said. It's battles that only you know you're going through. Everybody has their own battle they're going through, and it's little victories that like you have to learn how to congratulate yourself because you cannot depend on someone else. Because when that person is not there, that's when it
Yeah, yeah.
really sucks, and then it can turn on you.
No, yeah,
So
yeah.
congratulate yourself on like the small, which that one is a huge victory. Coming from the position you say you're coming from, like being that big of a drinker, for me, like I quit drinking like like that, because like it's like I said, I can drink like I said, if you invite me out, pay for the bottles. You know what I mean? You invite me
He
out.
like, yo, if you invite me, bro, I ain't denying it, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah. I'm not denying it, but I'm not gonna say no. But like me, for me, it's like
Yeah.
I said, I like drinking, but when I go out drinking, it's like I'm going out to the club. You know, there's gonna be bottles, and I know what I'm there for. You
No, no,
know,
yeah.
I know, but it's not like So for me, drinking was like it was easy.
No,
I
no,
was
yeah.
like, let me just challenge myself 3 months. Let's go sober. Boom, did it 3 months, and I'm
Mhm.
like, never doing that again. You know? No, don't drink. Don't drink. Drinking is bad. Believe me.
No,
I
no.
mean,
Don't let it control you. I always say to people,
yeah.
like, go ahead, I don't care. And also I'm like, but I told them, don't let ever that control you. I'm just saying, like, it's a thing. It's true. That's what I would get the advice, but that controlled me all these. I'm like,
Yeah,
nah.
yeah, yeah. No, I mean, and like I said, like congratulate yourself for your little victories, because those add up, and once you get like enough of those, you'll get a big win,
No, yeah, yeah.
So with your the creation of your clothing brand, the sellout, you did with the clothes, not the sellout, but selling out, of your shirts, the sobriety, and now your events, now that you're
Yeah,
throwing
yeah.
your
Speaking
events.
speaking about my moments, yeah. You know, I don't know if you ever heard these or like if you believe it, divine timing. Like,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
universe put things to you, God places things to you when you're ready.
Right. I'm
You
more of
know,
God than the universe, but yeah,
when I say universe, I mean God.
yeah, right.
Again, and it's just like, God, he tests you out. He puts these challenges on you, but it's up to you which one you're gonna pick.
Yeah.
I could have went the other way. I could have kept on doing the same thing,
Yeah.
or I could have chose like,
And like
hey,
many other people, there's many other people that did choose that, and there's a lot of like I was seeing that I keep bringing up videos, but like a lot of videos. Have you ever seen the guys in your block like that are like around your deli, like
yeah,
when
yeah.
you're growing up, and then now that you're older, they're still
No,
there,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
which
definitely.
is
Every time I do
crazy.
laundry, they're still there. It's still the same
Yeah.
thing. But again, when you learn, they're doing what they're doing. They know that's it.
Yeah, I
You
mean
understand.
everybody's entitled to their own life and their own thing, but it's
Yeah.
good that you're able to like switch that literal switch. Like, okay, this is not the life I want. My life is not gonna be perfect, but it's definitely not gonna be this.
No, no, no. Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. And when the moment I decided to be sober, um, also, I decided to do it too because I have my niece. My sister's first kid.
Okay.
That's the first of the family. Milana.
Unk status.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm an uncle. For her, I was like, when she grows up, I want her to be proud of me.
Right.
You know. And so from there, I was just like, I I met Adi. Literally like 2 weeks after, I was already going through my soberness. Like I was like dead on. Who is
Right.
now my creative director. So
Shout out
that's
to
my right
Adi.
hand. Shout out to Adi.
Shout out to Adi. I love
Um
your guys' skits, by the way. Your guys' skits are funny as fuck. I don't know who comes up with them, but I love them.
Yo, yeah, it just happens, bro. Like, yo.
I love those skits. We're gonna have her on soon. Leave a comment down below if you guys want to see Adi in the in the pod.
Nah, yeah. I was just like, I met Adi, she became we were just cool, I kind of found her annoying. Yo, she'll tell you too. She'll tell you too.
Oh my god,
She'll
yo,
tell
that's
you
such
straight
a
up.
180, bro. She's
No,
like, I
because
found Adi. Kind of found her
no,
annoying.
it's just because I don't know, but it was at Brizzy. It was at Brizzy Fest.
Okay.
Shout out to Brizzy, not Brizzy Fest, bringing people together,
Yeah, shout out
making
to
connection,
Brizzy.
networking.
Shout out to damn. I'm really plugging into everyone in the industry. Go watch Brizzy's episode.
Go watch Brizzy's episode.
Yo, that shit was funny too. That episode was funny.
Hell yeah, allegedly.
Allegedly, yeah.
That whole episode, allegedly.
Allegedly, yeah.
Yo, Brizzy,
We're not in the type of climate to be making those jokes. Allegedly.
Allegedly. Brizzy about to be like, yo, I started rice and beans, bro. It wasn't for Brizzy Fest. Just letting I know.
Oh my god.
No, but yeah, I was bringing my puppets and everything. No one wanted to hold my puppet.
Where did this come from? Explain your or
Con Tiempo.
introduce.
Yeah, so this is Little Con Tiempo. Yeah, actually, Little Con Tiempo. He came because I wanted to show off the clothing. So
Okay.
I had my puppet. This is my dad. Well, this is not the original puppet. This is a new puppet.
What's it called? Like the puppet?
I had a name for him, but then people be like,
No,
so...
I mean like the action.
But you want to know the original name?
What's the original name?
It's Con Tiempito. So I would say, it's Con Tiempito. Like,
that's funny though. Why did you keep it?
I still keep it, but it's the kids, man. Like, I tell the kids, they're like, oh, what is it, Con Tiempito? And then I told the audience, she's like, you know what that sounds like? I'm like, what? It's Con Tiempito. And she's like,
But then again, if you think about it, Tepito is the same thing.
Yo,
It's only
nah.
wrong if you
And I
think
would tell
about
some
it.
lady, and they're like laughing, and I'm like, cochinos, bro. All of you, I'm like, this is an innocent kid
Yeah.
still. Don't do that. It's
No,
like,
I mean like to the wrong mind, like you kind of know what it means.
I didn't know. I didn't think about it like that.
But what are you catering to? Are you catering like what's your idea? What's your
No, it's
like?
just to everyone. It's a mascot. You know, I always say like, Con Tiempo is PG-13.
Okay.
So it's like, Leo Con Tiempo. I was bringing them out to wear the clothing. My dad actually gave me the puppet when I was 16.
Oh
It
no
was my
way.
Christmas gift. Yeah, yeah. The
Oh
original
no.
one. The original one, he's maltratado in the house. And so from there, I would bring it, and then
Don't have kids anytime soon.
talk about drop the kid.
Hey, it was a video. I didn't say I would do that.
Allegedly. And so, I started bringing it to the market and all of that. And then one time I did bring it, and they're like, yo, where's the puppet? I'm like, what do you mean? Like, the puppet, like, you always bring him. I'm like, oh, he's in the house. You should bring him more. So it just ended up becoming an actual thing for Con Tiempo.
But is he his own like persona, or is it just like,
It's specifically part of Con Tiempo. Like the
Okay.
mascot for Con Tiempo. And I bought it from like, website Silly Puppets. Anyone could buy it. But I always say like, it's the life you put into the puppet.
Yeah, facts.
There's a lot of Chucky dolls, but only one is Chucky.
Facts.
I'm telling you.
Facts. Like, do you actually like do the?
They don't talk, ventriloquist?
Yeah, ventriloquist. That's
Yeah.
what I was trying to fucking.
Nah, he don't talk, bro. I try to give him a voice. Nah, put us fallas, bro.
Oh wait, what else?
No,
I said I tried to give him a voice.
The voice is voiceless sometimes.
Okay.
So it's just better.
So my guy's mute.
He
My
yeah,
guy's mute.
yeah, it's Mudo, bro. He gets sign language. So he just nods
La
and all of that.
tuya. Salud.
So from there, I just started bringing more and more, and then later La Maria came, because they were like, "Yo, he need a girlfriend. He need this."
Oh, you know what's crazy? I don't even know about the female version.
You don't know La Maria?
No.
Yeah, La Maria, she's getting a makeover right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
She's in the salon.
So yeah, she'll come back, just after her makeover. But La Maria came, and now, we're going into Brizzy. So I was, bringing La Maria. I brought both. No one wanted to grab Maria. So no one wanted to grab the puppet, and Adi was the one who's like, "Oh, I'll take the puppet." She grabbed the puppet, and so we both started dancing. We did our clip. We have our clip the first time we met, so we're both like dancing with the puppet, doing our little circle. And then I was like, "All right, you could give me my puppet back," because she had it for a little too long. So I'm like, it's my toy.
She's over here making it drink.
Yeah. I'm like, what are we doing? And from there, again, since we had mutual friends, we go to like the same events. We went to a Migo event. Shout out to the Migos. Always love their events. And then one time, both of our friends couldn't go, and so it was we hit up each other like, "Hey, are you going?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, me too." And from there, we started talking, and we were like, "Oh shit, cool." I asked her to be my model, and that summer I was just nonstop working on Con Tiempo, trying to figure out what to do, and I wanted to do a fashion show. And shout out to the Sunset Park Plaza, Sonia, and Tulum. They sponsored me. I was sponsored, and they're like, you do your fashion show here.
Oh, dope.
And I was like, no way. And they're like, I've seen you work so hard for the last 4 years. I've seen you like carry your maleta, your chair, your duffel bag from the heights all the way
Yeah, and
to
that's
here.
honestly that's how like a lot of the big brands start. Like a lot of the just like literally doing what you just said, like carrying like shout out to my boy Noe. He did the same way. Like he was like giving out his clothes for the first part of his like clothing career. Like he was just giving it out just to try it out. Just to hustle. And then it came where like people now now his clothes are like so expensive where I can't even buy it, bro. Come on, make that shit cheaper, bro. Give me some, give me the. No, shout out to
shout out to Ghetto Friends.
I
was a big fan. I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of Ghetto Friends and their work ethic.
And their clothing is like it's well worth it. It's well like it's if you're into fashion like that, like you'll see the why. And well, clearly there's a lot of like artists that wear his stuff. There's a lot of like cool people in the industry that wear that stuff. But yeah, I wanted to ask your clothing. You're pushing out your clothing brand. You're pushing out Con Tiempo. Con Tiempo is like the main like the umbrella, right?
Yeah.
The main like brand, right? It's not a season.
No, it's the main brand.
It's the main
Con
brand.
Tiempo.
So you want to push out Con Tiempo as a general brand, or you're pushing out Con Tiempo as a clothing brand?
You see, now this is where now Con Tiempo is growing. You know, into something that you never know what direction it starts. The more you go
Right.
for. Right now, I think Con Tiempo now is going as a name, as something that it's just more than a clothing brand. It's something as an event.
Right.
It's a whole. It's something that I'll be announcing later on in the year, maybe next year. But you'll
Okay.
see where Con Tiempo will be going.
Okay. Cool.
You know, I have my fashion show, and I'm planning out each week. I started my fashion show. I started planning for the fashion show in July. Fashion show was in September. I had 6 weeks.
July of what year?
Last year.
Last year. Okay.
Last year, yeah. Last year I had my first fashion. So I had 6 weeks to plan the whole fashion show. Get my models, get my DJ. Once I got that yes, I hit about it like, hey, I'm actually having the fashion show. Like, you know, I would like for you to be one of the models and help me out a little bit in organizing. So she did help me out. Meaning to say, I just met this person, and you know, I have trust issues. And so she like, you know, helping me out balance, you know, helping how little things need to get fixed. And, you know, then I had my second model, Janet, Mi Diabla, which is, she does great content. She really motivated me more into being more into content creating.
Like social media.
Yeah,
like
her
yeah.
hustle is like amazing. I was just like, I don't know how you do it.
Yeah, shout out to everyone that's hustling on social media, bro.
Yeah.
It's not easy to, like, it's really not easy to become. I just had my first viral video, not with the Chilo Talk, but with my no events that went like 500,000 on TikTok.
Congrats,
I was like, holy
congrats,
shit.
yeah.
Thank you. And I was like, damn, this is how it feels like, you know?
No,
And then
yeah.
it's like, it's cool because it's cool, but then it's like, damn, how do you top this one now? How do you get to 1 million now? You know, how do you get to 1 million views? You know, that one has 100,000 likes. And I was like, okay, now how the hell am I gonna top this?
Nah,
you know?
yeah,
So it's
yeah.
like a double-edged sword. But
No,
yeah,
you
shout
it
out
just
to
makes you
everyone.
want to do more, you know. And then I had my meeting with Choloiso, who was my DJ. Shout out to Choloiso. He's
And you're
always helping
paying
me
for
out.
this like out of pocket, or like it's like people like you know what?
And
Yo
my
te ayudo.
models, you know, they volunteered.
Okay.
But like the DJs, I paid. Yeah, I had to pay the DJs. Then the others were sponsors, thankfully, because they know me for the years. And then like, you know, them hearing that I got this place, they were like, oh,
Well, yeah,
like I'm
yeah.
so happy. Like, you know, you build friendships, you build connection. People understand where your heart is at that moment,
Right.
and that I'm like, they're willing to just give you a hand. Sometimes
Right.
just asking, and it goes a long way.
Right.
And so I'm investing into the designs. I'm investing into the shirts. I'm paying for my homeboy. For
How
the
much you think you're
designs.
putting in at this point?
At that
Like
point, I
within
think.
the 6 week, how much you think you're putting in at this?
Oh yeah, for the eating, I think maybe I put over like 2K.
Okay.
And meaning to say, it might not seem a lot, but it's only me.
Right.
know?
Yeah. And it's like you had like a job. Like
Yeah,
a
I have a
job.
job, minimum wage. You really don't make nothing. And again, I was in debt because of my drinking. It still with you either way because you know, you're nonstop your credit card spending. And all that.
Yeah.
That debt is still there.
Right.
So you're thinking you change your life and all that, but your past is still there. You know, all of
Yeah.
those things they build up. So I'm here like, you know, I gotta
That's
do
just a
this.
lesson for all the kids that are out there that think like drinking it won't, you know, mess you up, and it's just I'm young, it won't mess you up. Yeah, trust it will. Just
Yeah.
you know, we're not saying that it's like, you know, entirely bad. You know, everybody has a drink here and there, but just you know to not let it take over your life, because it in many instances when you say it's not taking over your life, it's when it's starting to take over your life or it already takes over your life.
No, yeah. So I'm investing this. So we're practicing. I'm vending sometimes. I'm working. I'm in college too. I'm still in college. And I'm nonstop. Like, you know, that last 2 weeks we're rehearsing, we're practicing. I'm getting things right. I get my models. I get my MC. I get mariachis.
Oh shit.
And I think I got mariachis for that one. I'm not sure, but I did get a corrido group. Melodia Urbana. Shout out to Melodia Urbana.
Shout out to them.
They were like, you know, they were just starting off too. But they were like, I asked them if they could play, and they were like, yeah. Like,
and you talk about Tulum, like the big club?
Yeah.
Big club? Oh, okay, cool,
Yeah,
cool. Shout out to Tulum. Shout out to the owners. Yo, hit me up. I wanna get their spot looks it looks cool.
Oh,
I've never been.
Really.
I've never been to, but their spot looks cool. Hit me up. Let's work.
They sponsored it. And I freaking loved it, and I was just like Melodia Urbana. They actually, you know, they took a chance with me, but also, you know, they just started, so you know they were humble enough. Because I did hit up. I'm gonna be honest, I did hit up other corrido groups that were just starting, pero yo no sé como the ego. They're like, oh, I gotta talk to my manager, or I gotta talk to him.
Bro, that's such a boy. Yeah.
And then I'm like, you know, I'm like, okay, never, no reply, nothing.
Yeah.
Melodia Urbana, humblest kids ever, man. Talented as hell. And so they're like, yeah, I'm down. They came to the practice. They were playing. That day of the fashion show, I had a violinist too. Shout out to Lou. She
Damn.
was
So you
really
really put
great.
all the pieces together.
I
Yeah.
put everything. People, when everything I was talking about, people looked at me like, no way you're gonna do that. Like,
Yeah.
no way. Or like, they're like, they believe it, but like,
No, but it's great because like you're like obviously the point of that is for your cause, but I like everybody gets their like their moment there, like because and I feel like as a vendor, as a musician, as a whatever, like you know that you going in there that there's gonna be there's gonna be raza there that I'm not only they're gonna go look at you, but they're gonna look at like para venir los 15 de mi
no, yeah,
de mi prima que toca chingón el
yeah.
grupo, let's bring them on,
No, yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. I wanted lowriders.
Okay.
My homie, who's now my main part of my main team and my videographer, Manny, he he's like, oh, let me hit up like solo homies. I got you. And then I solo shout out to solo
Oh,
homies
shout out to
for
Solo Homies. They have
they
crazy
sponsored
whips.
they sponsored also like they brought out their cars. They brought me like 3 cars.
Wow.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah, shout out to Solo Homies. If you
Yeah.
guys seen the Cinco de Mayo parade or the Quince de Septiembre parade, you're probably
Yeah.
watching their Loretta. They're always there.
Yeah, so I'm bringing the lowriders in the fashion show. Like these people, they come in their cars. Lara was this beautiful ass car.
Yeah.
He comes in too, and like the market, the vendors, the people are like, whoa, like they're the energy. Like this is a
Yeah.
whole different type of energy, and they're like, yo, like who's Con Tiempo? And I'm like, oh hey, like I'm Con Tiempo. Like, oh, nice to meet you, homie. Like they told us that to bring the cars here, give you a hand. I'm like,
Yeah, and they
So I'm
didn't
like,
charge you at all to like.
again, sponsored. It was
Damn, that's
sponsored,
what's
it
up.
was a
That's what's
sponsor.
up.
And again,
Yeah.
it's the hard work, me like carrying. To
Yeah,
make
they
sure
got nothing
everything-
to gain from that. They're like freaking. They're like all they're bringing is they're
Yeah.
showing off their beautiful art.
showing the community.
Because
And
those cars are art.
I made my best to just make everything was okay. I really just make sure that everything was good for them and all of that. But again, that day of the fashion show, it was just me running everything.
Yeah.
It was just me. I was nonstop running back and forth, this, that, there, making sure the models were okay, making this look okay. I didn't eat that whole day. I was exhausted. I was like, the fashion show went great. Everything went great. Everyone was dancing. Everyone, loved the way it was set up. The models, they were all beautiful. They did what they needed to do, and I'm very grateful for them. By the end of the night, the taquero, he was like, "Did you eat already?" And I'm like, "No, I haven't eaten all day." He told his wife like, "Yo, make him some food. He hasn't ate all day," and she makes me some food, bro. I took a bite of a taco, and then someone comes like, "Oh, hey, they need you right here." I'm like, "All right." I put my tacos down.
Damn.
Guess what happened when I come back?
They weren't there.
They were gone.
Damn,
the
pinche
tacos were
taquero se
gone.
la comió.
They were gone. Someone
Who's
inside the
that?
club took my tacos. I went back inside the club to put my tacos down and eat. Someone ate my tacos. There were like 5 tacos, bro.
Yeah, rest in peace to those tacos.
Rest in peace to the fucking tacos.
Hey, but that's cool. That's cool to show about the grind, like
No.
and it's cool. People don't see this. People don't see like what goes behind. Like people like just see a flyer, like oh, let's show up to like
No,
and
yeah,
the
yeah.
amount of work that is put into some of these events is
Oh,
like
man, yeah.
gotta give you guys your props. Like you guys that throw events, like
And then from there, that's where I'm like, I can't do this by myself. I started doing. I met up with Adi still again. We were talking about the fashion show, and I was telling her like, hey, I want you to be part of Con Tiempo as like my creative director. Like I would really need her help. And she was like, okay. In the beginning, she was just like, okay. And I understand. She's like, okay, we'll see.
yeah,
Which I get it. With no hard. Because she just met me. She was like, hey.
yeah.
So she came up with the idea of doing a gallery. We did a gallery. That was her first gallery in October.
And she has something going on too, right? Like,
Mhm.
what does she have going on? Like, because you guys are your guys' like energy seems very similar. Like, what you guys got going on?
I mean, right? She has her own thing. She does her own like vlogs, her own video stuff too. She's also in charge of Raices podcast.
Yeah, shout out to the Raices podcast.
The Raices, one of the co-hosts also for Raices podcast. She's like amazing. She's very like she does all of that. She has her
Right.
own job too. She has her own personal stuff that she does. And so, she gives me a hand. And so we do the gallery. It went great too. We took it was a photo, like a photo of, it was like we brought all the photographers who took pictures of the fashion show.
Okay.
And so it was a debut of the fashion show, post fashion show. And it went great. We had a lot of help and all of that too. One of our, actually, I forgot to send love to this family. Evelyn's family, they helped me out with the lowrider bikes. Like they're
Oh, okay.
so she goes by Spooky. They always such a lovely family. They helped me out with the lowriders. They brought the lowrider bikes. She helped with the
Okay, yeah.
lowrider bikes for all of that too. And so we do gallery. So from there, that was like the last event we did. Then after that, we do a Day of the Dead event. We bring mariachis at Tulum. We help
Okay.
out for the Day of the Dead, and we also bring mariachi. Shout out to Mariachi Huella. They always help me out.
Shout out to them.
Great talented young kids. They're all young. Like so
Yeah.
many young useful
That's
people we have.
beautiful to see. It's beautiful to
Yeah,
see.
yeah. I was like, damn, I wasn't that talented at that age. Oh, and so we're going nonstop. You know, we do the our last event was December 12th. You know, for the birthday of the Virgin Mary. You know, from mariachis. It was nice. It was peaceful. We're trying to. From there, the next year comes. We're like, what's next? We start off the podcast. The podcast is a whole different thing. Raíces NYC is not connected with Con Tiempo. That's his own separate thing. You know,
Right.
I would say that's Adi's own personal thing. You
Right.
know, that we co-host, both of us. And you know, from there, I think we want to do. What did we do after? I would say we're going into the Estamos Aquí gallery. That was one of the biggest ones of this year. We started
Yeah,
off.
you guys made a lot of noise with that. It is really, 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 really cool to see that. That was in the what's that cafe called?
Cholitas.
Cholitas
Yeah,
Cafe.
yeah.
I'm
Shout
sorry,
out
I'm
to
blanking out.
Cholitas.
Shut up.
Like, you know, again, they took a chance with us. You
Yeah.
know, we came up to them too. Like, hey, like we want to do this event. We want to bring artists. We want to show like their work. We want to show this, that there's community here. There's a voice here. Estamos Aquí Gallery was, you know, showing the cultura, showing that, you know, we have more to offer. How, you know, not many people know us, know what we have.
Right.
You know, we want to bring a safe place where all of us feel comfortable just to be ourselves. And so we pitch him the idea, and he's like, all right, okay, I'll let you. So each week we're coming like, you know, oh, hey, like we were sponsored by this, we were sponsored by that. We're
Yeah.
actually going to bring this lowrider. Shout out to the Excelsior for bringing their cars, their two
Yeah.
beautiful
Shout out to
cars to the
Excelsior.
families. It was like, we're like, wow. This is where our homie John, he helps us out too. He was one of the artists too, the photographers that showed his work
Right.
also for the gallery event. And we had some vendors.
I
You
saw
know,
Maya's was there too. Shout
Maya's
out to
too.
Alejandro.
Shout out to Alejandro, man. I remember the first time we met.
I know the
too.
Shameless Plus plug. Go watch Alejandro's podcast.
Yeah, yeah. Go.
The Maya's.
we bring everyone
Yeah,
up in this
yeah.
conversation.
I mean,
been a
it's
long
cool because that's what I love about this podcast. That's what I like about the Chill Talk podcast. How I can bring everybody on and they tell their story. They tell,
yeah.
and it's, you know, that's how beautiful it is that everybody one way or another is interconnected, and this is what we have to do. We have to boost each other up
Oh,
because
yeah.
you know we're never gonna get anywhere. Like I always said it, and I always will say it since I've heard it. The people at the bottom are competing. The people at the top are collaborating. You know, maybe we're not at the top, but if we want to have that mentality,
No, yeah.
we have to collaborate. We have to.
No, yeah,
And
yeah.
in that point, thank you again, Julio, for pulling up to the. I know it was last minute. It's been planned for a while now. I just got the studio back, but thank you for pulling up.
Timing.
Thank you.
It wasn't yet. You know.
Yeah, it wasn't yet. And look, we're gonna have this. This will be the next episode out after my little break. It was a forced break. I didn't want to stop. You know, you guys know, I'm trying to push the Chill Talk podcast. Like, I'm gonna bring New York out, you know, everywhere, because you know I want to show all the talent that's in New York. That's why we got, you know, I got all these guys that we just mentioned: Brizzy, Alejandro from Maya Snack Bar, yourself. You know, there's a lot of people that have a lot of talent, a lot of potential, and we have to show it one way or another. And I feel like this is a great outlet.
No, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
a lot of people. Shout out to everyone, by the way. Sorry, I'm gonna take a little break to shout out to everyone that I get a message from. I know my podcast is small now, but even at the volume I have now, like the amount of messages I get of like, yo, bro, like, thank you for like interviewing or asking this question or saying this on the pod, because it pushed me to do this or do that or do, like, you guys don't know how truly that means so much to me, you know, because it means like I'm doing something right, and maybe
Yeah.
right now it's just like the scope is not on me yet, like the eyes are not on any. Bro, shout out to everyone that does watch, but once like people will see that all of these people, all of you guys, like all of us, like we have something, you know, and
Oh, yeah.
we're meant to push it out. So every one of the messages that I actually got, funny enough, it's gonna sound funny, but My last event I did it. I DJ'd an event in right here in Dreams. Shout out to David from Dreams, and Natalie from Dreams. Somebody asked me for a picture for the first time, and they
Oh
didn't
shit.
ask me for a picture from like, oh, you're DJ Nova.
Yeah.
They were like, no, oh shit, you're like the Chill Talk,
Yeah.
the Chill Talk guy. I'm like, yep, that's me. He's like, yo, bro, can I get a picture? I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah.
bro, you guys like, shout out to that dude. He says he watches all the episodes. Shout out to him. Like, you don't know how that made me feel. You know, and that just like got the ball rolling. Like, yo,
No,
I
it's
have
just
to get.
little reminders, man. Little
Yeah, yeah,
reminders.
yeah. And it's like that's not the first person that's like, oh, like honestly, everyone that I talk to now, like before was like, oh, what's up, Nova? Like, what's up? You know, because everybody knows me.
Hmm.
Like I said, I'm a DJ first. But now it's so cool to see that even if it's local, I don't really care. Even if it's local love right now that I have, the amount of people like I believe me, everyone that's watching, I know I'm ranting right now, but it's like I have to say, like the amount of love I'm getting. People walk up to me and they're like, you know, whether that's like when we're in events together, random people like, you know, people in my gym now, they're like, oh, like, you know, like my boys don't call me like Nova anymore. They call me, yo, Chill Talk. I'm like, yo, it's Edwin first, remember? You know?
Yeah.
But like I love it that that's how they're like relating me now to
Yeah.
the podcast. And I was like, man, like a couple of months ago, now we're like six months into
Hmm.
the half a year into the podcast, half a year
Yeah.
into the actual year. Like I love to see and I love to hear the feedback I'm getting, the amount of people that are actually loving it. And you know, that's my goal is not for me to like pick myself up. My goal is for all of us to like grow and for this to be for this culture for our youth that is grinding even through these tough times. Like we're trying to make it out, you know, with our dreams, with our, you know, with our hard work and con tiempo, right?
No, yeah.
With time, you know, you're gonna, I like how I put that in there, right?
Yeah.
With time, no, but it's true. With time, you know, time, hard work, blood, sweat, and tears is gonna get you where you want to be, and everyone that I interview is doing that, you know, and
No,
I
yeah.
love to see it. Sorry, a little moment of rant, but shout out to everyone that's been watching. Shout out to everyone that's like shooting me a message, and shout out to
Mhm.
everyone that wants to be on. I'm so sorry I can't have everyone on like scheduling. Even with Julio sees
Yeah.
how like the scheduling process is a little,
Yeah.
it's a little
You
bit of
gotta
a
that schedule
struggle.
out.
But shout out to everyone that wants to be on. I'm gonna try to get everyone as quick as possible. The people that, you know, if you guys have ideas, if you guys want to be on, shoot me a quick message. Shoot me what you do, your idea on the episode. You know, we can't have everyone on obviously because it's like, you know, timing and all that. We do post every other week, so it's like, you know,
Mm.
once the team gets bigger, I'll start posting. I was doing every week, but it's a struggle. It's a struggle because I run Nova events. I do so much stuff. So we had to move it to every other week. Once my team gets bigger, I'll make sure I pump out more episodes. But if you have an episode idea, shoot me DM. And if you have a guest you may be interested, also shoot me a DM. I'll make sure to reach to you guys promptly. Sorry, let's continue with your event. I just had to rant real quick. I had to rant for that little moment. Shout out everyone, all the supporters.
No, no, yeah, definitely love to all the supporters too. It was nice, you know. I had a similar situation too, where I was just sitting in industry. I was just chilling there, thinking about like, you know, everything, and then that was like this kid. She comes up. She's like, "Hey," I'm like, "What the heck?" Hey, like I follow you. I'm like, "Oh, thank you." And then I'm like, I go back into my thinking, you know, just having my drink, and I get tapped. I'm like, "What the?" And this kid is just asking me for a picture. Can I take a picture with you? I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Like I follow Con Tiempo. I'm wearing that shirt you're wearing. It's nice little reminders, you know,
Yeah.
that you're like, you're in a good path. You're doing good. All
Yeah,
of
yeah,
that.
and that's just a reminder again. That's just a
Mm.
reminder for everyone that has something going on, right? Like, bro, that takes like it take for the recognition I'm getting. You know, I'm saying it's quick, but any project really takes time. Like it
Yeah.
takes like your brand. It takes it's con tiempo because
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest. Like, you know, people ask, like, I'm pretty sure they ask you like any advice you could give or
yeah,
anything. I just say like, you know, go for it, do it, but keep at it, be consistent. And I tell them straight up, you're gonna have more lows than ups, but you got to be consistent, stay patient. You know, I I've been 5 years with Con Tiempo until now. You know, people are now noticing, knowing what it is. Now we're doing events. You
yeah. I feel
know,
like the events things is really working for you guys because it's
yeah,
like not only like I said, not only that are you bringing you up, everybody around. It works like a domino effect. They, you know, the let's say in this event that just happened with the Cholita Cafe, which I saw on TikTok, I saw on
yeah.
Instagram.
We're like seeing like our friends say, oh, like we saw this. So I'm seeing that. Like I'm people that I'm like I'm swiping. I'm like, wait, that's my event. Or like, oh,
Yeah,
we're like
yeah,
spend the day here. Actually, that's on. Estamos aquí. I'm like, wait, what the hell?
yeah. That's cool, right? That's cool to
Yeah,
see. But yeah, you're bringing the community together, and that's who you're not really only catering for, because like the same thing with Cheetah Talk, we're bringing everyone in. We're not just bringing people from the community.
No, yeah.
Everybody that is working on something, that's trying to progress. That's who we target,
Mhm.
everyone. But you're bringing all the community in, and they're like everyone has something to offer.
Yeah.
Something like, and everybody will either you'll learn something, you'll get inspired by something, or you'll grow from
Yeah.
like that.
You
Where you
know,
guys are
it's
putting,
literally who you surround yourself with that will inspire you to do more.
yeah,
You know, all my friends too. Like I always say, everyone who's around me are so much greater than me. They're doing so much. So I'm just like, in
yeah,
my head, I'm like, I'm not comparing myself to them. I'm just like, whoa, now I want to do this, or I
yeah.
could
And
do that.
you never
You
really know
know?
what goes inside. Maybe that event, like let's say you did it for Con Tiempo, right? You
Yeah.
brought the lowriders, brought all these vendors, but maybe you never know. Maybe there is a person in that event that went in there thinking about opening a coffee shop, and they're like, this was just the perfect event to go look at vendors, look at how a coffee
Mm-hmm.
shop works, with what the potential future can look like for that one
Yeah.
person that could open a coffee shop, and they saw Cholitas, like, whoa, this is what I'm,
No,
this is what I
yeah.
dreamed
And
about.
you know, now we're planning our next event, which is gonna be announced pretty soon, maybe like later on this week or next week. By next week, you'll probably hear it. It's called Con Tiempo Mercado. It's gonna be
Okay.
a collaboration with Sunset Park Plaza. That one, it's again, showing love to where the place that I call my second home, bringing back again with the vendors around the community, giving a helping hand, and also for everyone to feel safe, and also just to have a fun time. By meaning safe too, it's just like I want kids to be able to come. I don't want alcohol to be the main priority in these things. One of the things that we also like always, like, I get it, like, people like to drink,
Yeah.
but also growing up, with our culture, a veces lo pasamos un poco.
Yeah.
Sometimes,
A
people want to
veces.
have people want to have fun with their families.
Yeah.
They want to
Yeah.
bring their kids. They want to feel safe, and that's
Yeah.
why also on our events we always make sure it's everyone's gonna have fun. You can have your drink, but also you can have fun socializing with other people, other creators,
Yeah.
and that's what Con Tiempo Mercado will be about. Then after that, I don't know if I want to announce this one soon yet,
Chad,
but
tell him to invite Chito Talk to the.
Cheeto Talk been invited. He's just like, I don't know. Yeah.
I think I have been invited to that if I'm not wrong, shout out to this guy Mango Loco.
Hmm.
My apologies, bro. My schedule is crazy, but I have been invited. I don't know if it's that one though. I've been invited to a market
Hmm.
to just like go check it, not to be part of it, but just to go check it out. And
Yeah.
I'm still due to check out. But you guys do it in weekends, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be on Sunday. This one's gonna be at sunset.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
so
Yeah,
this one's gonna.
that's the issue with the my. I'm gonna try to attend. I mean, if he invites me, I'll pull up. But
Yeah,
yeah,
you already know everyone pulls up for Con Tiempo. But it's showing love to everyone.
yeah. I mean, it's hard. Well, for me, it's hard because of my events, like
Yeah.
because I run a business, so the
No,
events
yeah.
are on the weekend. So it's like it.
No, no, yeah. And for estamos aquí, guys. Some people don't know we don't charge none of our vendors. Everything is free for them. Again, because again for the vendors, like they get charged over a bit over too much. Me being a vendor, I start as a vendor myself. I know those fees. Sometimes
Like to be on the spot.
you're just
selling.
vending to make the fee back,
Right.
or sometimes they say you don't even make that back.
Yeah.
I just sat there. I just spent it. I invested money and now I don't have nothing.
Yeah. You broke even.
And again, it's because the way this is presented, some of these events are presented again, sometimes more presented as a party, which is nothing bad to say it, but again, it's for the vendors, it's for like, to help the people,
Right.
and it's like when you promote it as a party, then no one cares about the vendors. No one's going there to eat.
Yeah.
They're going there to have fun. And again, it's okay, but I'm here thinking because I myself was a
Yeah, you're
vendor,
trying to switch it up. You're trying to
you
make
know.
it more vendor focused, more
Yeah.
community focused.
Yeah, I want the artists to have the respect. I want all the vendors to have the respect. I want them to be able to talk. I want them to be able to share their story. I want everyone to say by the end of the night, like, hey, like, I loved it. It was amazing.
Right.
I sold all my prints. I sold everything I had.
Did you guys have an event where Spliff was performing?
Nah,
Oh,
that
was
mine.
another
Nah,
one.
That was,
Okay,
that
because
was
I
Lil,
saw something like.
that was Lil Joe Ma. Shout out to Lil Joe Ma.
Yeah, shout out to her.
She on again content.
Yo, content
Love
is fire.
it.
Yeah, content
I
is
love
fire.
it. She's such a great person. I've had the chance to talk to her here and there, but I love her energy. Her
Yeah.
energy is just like that. I was like, oh, okay, got it.
Yeah,
got it.
yeah. I've seen her content. It's very culture oriented, which is I love. Like I
Mhm.
said, anybody and everyone pushing. I love I love what they do when they create and push our
Mhm.
culture up. And then the way she does it is like, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
the whole
And she's very
different.
informative. Like, she tells people information.
Yeah.
That's it too. I'm glad, there's people out there, that have a voice that could share that information
Yeah, of
too.
course.
Me
Yeah.
myself, I'm forgetful. I can't even remember names. So
Yeah.
I have to be honest. I really am honest. Like, I really try to get informed as well. Like we all do.
Yeah.
But if I can't really say like I could give all of that information myself.
Right.
But I'm
Yeah.
glad, there's people like Lojo Ma that's there to inform you.
Yeah,
tell you
yeah.
everything.
Shout out to her.
Give you the
Come on the
information
pod.
that
That should be a cool story to definitely push on.
Mhm.
Tell her story. Tell her why she's like, what she does. I love the fact that she goes visit like the places
Mhm.
like taco spots or like stuff like that, and puts a spotlight. Uses her audience to put a spotlight on these vendors.
No,
you know,
yeah,
that
yeah.
Otherwise, they would just be like, it's especially nowadays. It's like, not because of what's happening, not because of the political like era we're living in, but also because of the economical era. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
like the financial era we're living in is like worse than our parents had it off. So now
Mhm.
starting up a business, it's extremely hard, and then
Yeah.
starting up a brick and mortar business is even harder because you got especially here in New York, you got the rent and all the bills and all the fees and all this. And I love the fact that that's one thing that I'm really, really, I really love that she puts a spotlight on these businesses, to help them in one way or another. You got the spotlight, now you see how how you utilize that
Mhm.
spotlight.
Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
shout out to her. Hit me up. Let's do a pod together.
No,
But
yeah.
continue, bro, with your event. Now, I do have a question. I hate
Mhm.
to roll, be the like, dampen the mood, but do you feel with going like all I see you like, what I hear you is like talking about these events and how you're doing this and how I'm gonna take a little bit back. You
Mhm.
think that well, we talked about like how you went through like emotional hardship with like your breakup and
Yeah.
whatnot. Did that in any way? Because like I mean, right now it seems like you're flourishing, like your
No,
events
yeah,
are
yeah.
flourishing, all of this. In any way, did you think that affected you creatively to produce all of this, or maybe like you had to just put it aside
Oh,
and
like the heartbreak and all that.
yeah,
You know, well, my new season that's coming out, it definitely has to do with my heartbreak. You're
okay.
gonna love it. Oh my,
Oh,
it's
that one,
done.
man,
That season is already
hey,
done. We're gonna bring it out.
He's about to put his a boogie on right now.
Oh man, yo.
Oh, hey, you're from
bro.
Washington Heights. You're from.
I'm from Washington Heights.
You're about to get the a boogie out of him.
Nah, yeah, it's also like it has to do with everything in my personal life. It's
But it's
something.
mainly like that's like the what fueled that like.
Yeah, it fueled it. Like I told you, every season has something connecting, and I feel like others will connect with it too in their own way. But yeah, definitely,
It sucks when you go through something like that, but that gives you so much passion to do something.
yeah.
The reason why I say the a boogie off of that is because a boogie got his heartbroken
Oh,
like
hell yeah.
crazy, and that's when he blew up with like a bag on me and all that. Like,
Yeah, but the thing is, like, it's very like I'm gonna be honest, I don't celebrate. I don't like. I'm happy most of the time of like all my accomplishments. Like I'm happy everyone's together, but also like again, I'm the one that made the mistake.
yeah.
I'm the one that fucked up. I'm the one that I don't know if you go curse, but yeah.
I mean, I've been fucking cursing the whole.
Yeah, I
fucking
didn't even
pod.
notice, bro. Like, yeah. But I'm the one who fucked up.
But the me sorry. Like, what's your favorite curse word? Probably fuck.
Yeah, but I'm like again, I'm the one that messed up. I did
Yeah,
the mistakes, and also like again, before I'm like the one who messes up should be like it's the one that should be in the lowest, should be in this. So I'm doing all of this. I'm accomplishing my goals. I'm doing.
I don't feel like you. I mean, maybe I don't feel like you should put yourself like at a certain position because you created a mistake. I feel like that's the perfect opportunity to not put yourself down
No,
and
yeah.
bring yourself up and know that you're not gonna commit that mistake again.
No, yeah.
Because if you, chances are, if you bring yourself down, you're just gonna keep committing that same
No,
mistake.
yeah. I get sometimes little reminders too of like when you get the urge, then I see a situation happen, and I'm like, wow, it's because they were in that situation of falling into alcohol, and I'm like, oh wait, that's why I stopped. Like I get
Yeah.
little reminders here and there, and it does motivate me to keep going on with Con Tiempo and doing my other events and focusing on it and just being happy about it. But I am pretty, I'm hard on myself on everything. I do think about it sometimes, because you have a person who started with you from the very beginning, and now
Right.
you're finally accomplishing everything you wanted.
What
to
was
do.
what was the lifespan of this relationship?
5 years?
Damn, 5 years.
Yeah, literally the life of Con Tiempo.
Damn.
So like you have this one person that became like your first like fan, And now that you're like, hey, like I'm doing it, like I'm accomplishing what I wanted to
Like you wish
do,
you were there, like kind of
and
Drake.
or
Wish you
like
were here.
I just want to tell you about it, like, hey, like I actually got this, or I got this sponsorship, or like we're doing this.
Yeah,
And but now it's just like I have my friends, I have my close friends,
but
they're
it's
always
not the
there.
same.
It is not the same,
Yeah.
they believe in me. I tell them straight up everything before they even like, they're in part of my team. I tell them like, hey, like this is actually what happens. They're like, wow. I think for some reason, they gain more respect for me. And one thing they tell me, like, not a lot of people will change like you did.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's true.
Not a
When
lot of
you
people will change.
when you go through something like that, a lot of people are like, fuck, I already did it. Let's move on with life. But it takes a lot for you to one admit your mistake, to let go of a person, because like some people don't know how to let go. And I'm
No,
not
yeah.
saying you fully let go. Maybe right now, like obviously you physically let go. You guys are not together, but mentally, I'm pretty sure it's draining. But it's hard to let go of a person like that, because you messed up, so now you have to proceed on with life, knowing you hurt someone, knowing
Yeah.
that like you
And
did this
what's the worst thing? It came to my head recently. I was like, you become the person they wanted you to become, but you
after.
became too late.
Yeah, yeah,
And you
yeah. I
had to
know.
do those mistakes on the wrong person that was right, that thought everything the
Yeah,
best
that
of you.
sucks.
I'm like, sometimes they went through my head. I'm like, I'm finally a man that I'm proud of. I'm finally a man that I want to do. I don't even think I'm a man yet. I say I'm a boy. I'm a grown boy. But and this is the person she would have loved to have.
Right.
But again, you come to a realization. You know what? It happened. If it wouldn't have happened, which
You would be the
sucks,
same.
I
Yeah,
would
it would
probably
be.
been the same. And it freaking sucks too, because
Yeah.
you get upset of that. I'm like, why did I have like a fuerzas a la mala?
And don't you think also, what sucks even worse is when you get the what could have I have done differently to still be with this person, or not have committed the mistake,
Yeah.
or sometimes it works on the other way, like when someone does something to you, like what did I do that I
Hmm.
could have done, could I have been. I mean, it's never should you never should fully blame yourself, but there I feel that guilt of like, you know I'm this person now. Why couldn't I be this person
No, yeah,
before?
yeah. I went, I think 2 weeks ago or a week ago. I was looking through old pictures.
Oh
Like those
man, you gotta
snap,
delete
no,
those.
no, those Snapchat memories.
Yeah,
Like sometimes it was just myself, like with my beer and all of that. I was just hating that person. I had some rage. I'm like,
yeah,
you're so dumb. Like you were so dumb.
yeah.
Like,
And this
why did
person
you
was
need to
like
that?
down for you,
Yeah,
like two
like
hundred
they're
percent.
yeah, like I was always at my worst, and they were there, and it's you learn these lessons, man. Like sometimes, and it's okay, it's okay. Yeah, we obviously, everyone has their ups and downs. I'll keep that, a little personal, more to personal myself. Never to really want to talk bad about this person, but again, with time, it'll heal. I know I'll get better.
Yep.
I know, things will work out
And
in
look how
my own
that
personal
locks in
life.
with your branding, like with what you're
Hmm.
trying to push out. Like with time, you'll be all right.
No,
Like
yeah.
with time, like you'll learn from this mistake and not commit, or learn how to see when someone's doing this to you. Because
No, yeah.
it works both ways. And with time, you'll heal. With time, you'll be great.
Yeah,
Not giving you false hopes, but maybe with time, this person reconnects
you
back with
know,
you, and you never know.
only God knows. I'm
Yeah,
gonna be like, only God knows. You always, man, like if it happens, happens. If it doesn't, doesn't. But at the same time, the only thing I have control over
it's you.
is me, my brand, what we want to do next, how we want to run it, and and that's it. Focus on what you have in control is, because
Yep.
even that sometimes you
Yeah,
never know.
we're the type of species that we tend to one create scenarios that 99% of the time don't even happen.
Yeah, yeah.
99%, and we tend to create issues before they even come up.
Hmm.
So it's great that you think that way, because I can totally agree on that, because sometimes I mean your mind runs wild. When you're sitting alone. That's why I took up working out in the gym, because like, and even then, like a lot of people is like, oh, like a lot of people that like see me, like see my the same way you see like yourself with like the drinking and like your old self, and you hate that person and you
Yeah.
hate what
He sees
I
himself in that in the gym. He's like, I work out too much.
no
I'm
no
too
no
handsome. Yo, I'm too brolic, dog. My brown is so different.
no, I actually to a point I started putting in my screensaver. I started putting a picture of like my big self,
Oh yeah.
like And if you follow me on my other Instagram, my personal Instagram, you'll see like I was big. Like I
Yeah.
was like 270 ish,
Oh shit.
like 270, and I'm like 190 now.
You beat me, chief. My highest was 250.
No, I was big, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a little taller than you,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
that's
yeah.
why I'm bigger because I had more.
You want to compare pictures in this podcast? I'll send you my old one.
Oh, welcome.
Yo,
welcome.
we'll compare. Yo, they'll be like, yo, he still look the same. What are you talking about? I'm like,
Bro, send them a picture right now. Bro, send them a selfie of the train, bro.
Talking about that, I'm on the CUNY ad, so you probably see me on the train.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's really cool. How did that come up to?
I'm always saying, soy bien necio. Like I always want to
You're
get it done.
persistent.
Yeah, I'm very, very like persistent into what I want. I'm gonna find a way to get it.
Yeah.
I always, and the funny thing, that's why all my team and my friends are like, I know now. I'm like, I know you're gonna find a way.
Yeah, when I say
like,
it's gonna happen,
there,
it's
yeah,
gonna
they're like, which I love them, man.
So what is that? So people that don't know, where a little context, you're on the subway train. You're on
like
one
a
of those
CUNY ad, promoting it, so like encourage people to go to college and all of that too. I'm still in college myself, but randomly I always said I want to be in the CUNY ad. I want to be in the CUNY ad. I would tell my advisor like, how can I get in that CUNY ad? I'm trying to be in. At one point I'm like, all right, I don't think I'm gonna be in the CUNY ad. I'm in class. I got a text. Hey, we would like to consider you for the CUNY ad. I'm like, what the hell? Boom. You gotta tell the universe what you want. You gotta speak it
that is
out.
so true.
You gotta
tell the universe, but also fucking work for it. Because a lot of people are like,
come on, bro.
I was one of those people.
Don't be laying in bed and be like, yo, I want to lose weight.
Yeah, I was one of those people where like you can only pray for so much. Like God will meet you halfway.
Yeah.
But you have to put in the other half. Like you can only pray for so much, but it's not like it's gonna come out of nowhere. Where like what you just said, it's not like you're gonna like just because you look at motivational stuff on Instagram and you're like, I'm gonna do this. I can see myself losing weight, and then what you do, you lay down and watch Love Island. By the way, whoever watches, no hate, but like
I don't get it. I have never seen it.
I mean, I don't get it either.
Watch The Bear.
I'll probably
The Bear. You want to get motivated? Watch The Bear.
Nah, you want to get motivated? Watch Jersey Shore. Nah, but like, you can't just like, and I'm not. Love Island is just like the topic that's relevant right now. But let's just say that you can't just think about doing it and then just pray like, oh yeah, God, like I love watching. Like I'm a freaking motivational connoisseur. Like I love watching that motivational shit that like. And people will tell you like, oh, but you can't just use motivation. I don't care, bro. Whenever I'm like down, I'll put on one of those videos.
Yeah.
That shit will pick me up, and as soon as like usually it happens in the gym. Like I'm going to the gym. Sometimes like the ugly part about the gym is that like you go in there and you go in there with a mentality, you come out with a different mentality.
Yeah.
So you go in there with like, I don't want to be here. Like fuck, I could be laying down or I could be doing a million other things, right? Instead of working on myself. But when you come out of that place and I don't mean you just walk in and walk out. Like you go to the locker room, you change and go out.
Yo, here, there's this
take
joke.
a selfie.
There's this joke like, yo, you just go in there for the selfie. Because I always post my selfie.
Yeah, like when you worked out to the hardest potential, and I'm not saying lifting 100 pounds or benching 4 plates, whatever. I'm just saying when you went there and you did the best fucking job you could possibly do, and you come out of that gym, you come out feeling like $1 million, bro. Like even si estás en deuda, you're in a heartbreak, you're in this, something in your mind, and I don't know, some neurologist back me up on this. There's a fucking chemical. Well, it's obviously dopamine, right? Mm-hmm. But that dopamine is like so rewarding. Dopamine is like when you really put in a hard workout and you come out, yo, you feel like the way I feel is like that song from Bob Marley. Everything will be all right.
Yeah.
Like just that simple. I feel fucking. I know maybe, puedes tener deudas, puedes tener breakups, puedes tener hardship, financial hardship, any hardship you can think about. That one moment that you come out of the gym, bro, when I come out of the gym, when I'm feeling like low, for the most part now, for me, the gym is not fun. It's like my playground. It's like when people go to like karaoke, to sing karaoke, play pool, play this. My gym is, my fun is the gym, sorry.
Yeah.
A little dyslexic.
That's like your you time.
Yeah,
like, me
bro.
time.
Yeah, it really is, and a lot of people don't understand it. Like even family doesn't understand it. They're like, "Oh, you spend so much time in the gym, bro." I do. You
distress yourself.
Oh my god, bro! Like, and it's funny because it's cool. It works great when you do de-stress yourself, but you're also sitting there. Like I saw a quote where it's like, you're literally sitting there with your mind, your thoughts, and steel, and you got to learn how to cope with being alone. And sure, everybody's around you working out, like doing this, but for the real, like, I, gym bros and gym girls, I know what they're called, the gym girls, but they're gonna cook me on the comments. But for all the ones that are like really, really, really into the gym, you know that a good workout usually is done alone.
Yeah.
Usually is done
Yeah, I'm gonna be
alone.
honest. Yeah, I don't like going with people to the gym.
Yeah, because like don't get me wrong. When I go gym, I work out with my friends, my gym bros, the girls that are like all of the people that are into the same thing I'm into. Like
Mm.
it's fun because we get to we get to joke about stuff, do routines that we wouldn't normally do. But when you're like really into it for a long time, like that working out is best done by yourself because
Yeah.
you're pushing your body the limit. You know where it can go to. But then again, now that I think about it, like when you are with other people, they are able to push you to
Oh
limits
yeah.
that you didn't even think you could do.
Yeah.
So shout out to my homies that are have pushed me in the gym. But yeah, that's been my what do you call it? My escape for like all of this. And bro, being it's always the thoughts that consume you
No,
at
yeah.
the end of the day.
No, yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. The
But I
overthinking,
mean,
all of that.
and it's good. And I'm also seeing on your Instagram that you are working out, right? You're
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
like this like series of workouts.
Yeah, yeah, I do my right now. I'm doing my 60 days. So I do that just more for myself. I'm actually, I'm seeing progress. I'm slowly. Only I know how much I've been actually seeing my progress.
Yeah.
I enjoy it compared to from last year. I always go by my belt. Hasta cuánto ya está cambiando. And now, like when
Okay.
I go to like the fourth hole, I'm like, oh,
He said,
crazy.
"Oh."
Okay,
He makes another hole.
yeah. And so,
Amá, ¿dónde está el drill?
and it's really nice, But I feel good. I feel healthy.
Yeah.
And also, like I told you, new problems always come, no matter how things you come. I'm pre-diabetic now, so
Oh shit! I'm pretty sure. Funny enough, I'm
it
pretty
runs in
sure.
the family, man. I guess.
Yeah,
And also,
I mean,
I was just
la
always eating
pinche
pan
coquita.
dulce, sweets. When you become sober, apparently you just can't, like have the urge to have a lot of
You want to
sweets.
replace it. You want to
Yeah,
replace it
yeah.
with something. Yeah.
To replace some pinche pan dulce, bro. Pinche
Pan
concha,
dulce.
bro.
Oh my
You
god.
eat that
Pan
concha,
dulce.
you become a concha, bro.
Yes. Oh, shout out to Tulcingo Bakery. They follow me on TikTok, bro. I would love to have if Tulcingo Bakery. If you're watching this and if you want to have like the owner, CEO would like to have, everybody knows Tulcingo Bakery. Well, well, you're from Washington Heights. I don't know if that's like a big thing over
No,
there.
I
Over
don't.
here, it's like everybody knows.
We're not
Tulcingo.
lucky as yeah.
Well,
We don't get
we
fresh
got
pan.
a with their they started with bakery, then they went into restaurants. They do the
Ah,
cakes. They were like mainly known for like the cakes and the pan. But
yeah.
shout out to the single bakery following us on TikTok. But yeah, man, that pan dulce the
Yeah.
pan dulce mixed with the ice cold coquita, the vidrio. Oh my god, bro, that goes
Damn,
really
bro.
crazy. But what's your now a little shying away a little bit from the the heartbreak and all that.
Yo, I
What's
almost
your
cried in this podcast like 3 times. I had like a
yeah.
pause, bro. There's like a moment I paused. I was like, fuck.
Yeah, I mean it's tough, but it's
I'm hitting
like
some deep stuff right here. Yo,
yeah.
I feel like this is the first time I'm talking about everything like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're getting the scoop at Cheeto Talk.
that's
I'm
good.
I'm serious. I'm serious. No one has heard about this.
I
Story
mean,
like
it's
that.
good because you're a lot of people think that you're fucking happy all the time and you're creating this shit all the time.
I'm
And
fucking sad, bro.
yeah, yeah. And what I like to say is that you
No, no.
fucking you're gonna go through it and
Yeah.
you're gonna grow through it. And what but better to like what instead of running from your problem. And I'm not saying expose your like
No, 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 yeah.
everything, but like instead of running from your problem, fucking face it.
Yeah, yeah, you face
it
them and all that.
and see what comes after, and you always end up on the other side.
Mhm.
No matter what, no matter what storm comes your way, even though as impossible as it seems, you come out of it. As long as it's not I always said everybody has a million problems until you have a health issue.
Yeah, yeah.
Other than if you don't have a health issue, you're healthy, everything will solve itself. One way or another, everything will solve itself. But what's the now we're coming to an end. We got holy shit, we got an hour and 30-minute pod. What's your plans with Con Tiempo, with the events? What's the future? Where six
right
months
now,
or just general plans?
for these next months, we do have a couple, events. We're on. Con Tiempo Mercado is the next big one that we're having. We're gonna bring full of surprises. Vendors. We're bringing back the lowriders too. We're gonna have a photo booth with some
Nice.
lowrider bikes, and we're gonna have some performances. Just come. You're gonna love it. It's gonna be something very different. July 20th.
July
It's
20th.
gonna be
Yes.
July 20th. Tell you the date from 12 to 6 p.m. We're gonna have a performance at 3 p.m. So stay tuned for that one. You really just come and support.
Yeah. We'll leave the
definitely.
Instagram. We'll leave Con Tiempo's Instagram down below. That's where you can find all the details for that. I'm guessing that's gonna be tagged with all of that.
And we're gonna do a volume 2. Estamos aquí.
Oh, nice.
So that one, stay tuned.
Yeah. Definitely want to be a part of that.
Yeah,
That seems really cool.
That one's gonna be. We have everyone ready. We
Oh
have
yeah.
everything already ready.
When is it? We're looking into the next 3 months, 6 months.
August 3.
August 3rd. Okay.
August 3. Back, y'all asked for it. Y'all wanted it. We're gonna do one. This will be the last Estamos aquí for the summer.
For the summer. Okay.
That's it.
Bro's mad dramatic about it. It's gonna be the last one.
Of the summer.
For the summer.
Yeah, that's it. You can't just have them like that back to back.
Bro, hit with you with some Rosa de Guadalupe.
Exactly, bro. Put the wins. And then fashion show for sure. We're going to have another fashion show. Obviously, we are a clothing brand. Season 6 is going to be announced. Yeah. The projects that I have, they're going to be, you're going to see it. Just follow the page. Keep at it. This announcement is going to be very different. You're going to love it. We're gonna have some other things planning soon. This one is gonna be a secret. Just Con Tiempo. We wanted to open doors for everyone. We want to give opportunity to everyone. We are a clothing brand, but now we're becoming something that
a culture brand.
Yeah, something that where we're always trying to have a voice, and now we want you to be able to speak and show your creativity and show everything you have. Awesome. And also show love to Raíces Podcast, and also make sure to show love to Chido Talk. Always love it. Yes. We're always here in the East Side. It's all about we're growing, but we need to support each other. Yeah, competition. Sometimes competition is good, but why compete with each other? Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. This is something that I just find sometimes ridiculous. Like, why are we competing against each other when we can help each other, motivate each other?
Yeah, that's facts. That's facts. Yeah. Oh well. Perfect way to end that. You got any last remarks you would want to say?
I would just want to say shout out to my homies. Shout out to the Drunken Monkey. They're always having my back too. Also Brooklyn John.
Shout out Brooklyn John
with his advices, everything. I joke around. Puras fallas with him. But also he's a nice, I would say, like, mentor, and to giving me advice, what I go through, or like motivating me to do other things. I said to them today,
I see him as a creative person.
I see him as a big brother. I'm the oldest in my family, so I never had someone like that. So I see him as someone. I mean,
push it 30. Come on, Unc.
Yeah, that's real.
Shout out to John. Happy birthday, bro.
Shout out to Adi. My creative director. Always dice ponte las pilas. Back to business. I do this and that. Business right there. Too much energy.
Yeah, too much energy. My bad, Pon. Keep going.
And shout out to my designer Rojas, my best friends Ruano and Leslie, always being there for me, and to everyone that's just shout out to Excelsior brand too for helping me out for the Estamos Aquí gallery, and also the artists too, and Choloiso, and those are the people that I always have. They're there for me, and also shout out to all of y'all that keep supporting, keep loving what we do. I have many things in store for all of y'all. I hope y'all love it, and just stay tuned.
Awesome.
Stay tuned.
Awesome.
Stay tuned,
guys.
And again, in the words of Brooklyn John, dream big. Nah.
Yo, Brooklyn John. I'll send you that clip, bro. Copyright his ass. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. We're running out of time. I know you got to run to an event pretty soon, but first of all, now that we're coming to an end, thank you so much for pulling up.
Oh, I got a little gift too for you.
Oh, we got gifts. Let's go.
A ver si te queda, bro, porque I got it small because you said losing.
If it's not an extra tiny, then I don't want it.
Oh, shit. She said she said she petite.
Oh, shoot. Look at this. All right. Look, by the way, for those that are just watching, maybe they're not, haven't been following the Con Tiempo. Maybe we have people that watch from the West Coast, from like all parts of in Mexico. Actually, I saw the analytics. This is Con Tiempo. So this is
my latest season.
Yeah, this is the latest season. What inspired the luchador? Because you said it always comes off of something. Yo, this looks. I love the back.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. What inspired? Because you said everything roots. Thank you, by the way, so much for the gift.
Of course.
What roots?
It just it's one of the things I remember watching growing up, like the lucha libre, and also watching las películas of, El Santo, el Blue
Oh
Demon,
yeah,
Contra
yeah,
las
yeah.
Momias, with, like, with my dad and all of that too.
I thought you was about to hit me with some no sabo like Nacho Libre.
Nacho Libre, nah, Nacho Libre too, bro. Chill, chill.
I mean, yeah, it was.
I have a little short film that I did. You have to scroll through my Instagram to see that I did with the Santo mask,
Oh
with the
yeah.
Nacho Libre
Okay, I
song.
gotta check it out. I
It's
gotta check
really
it out.
funny. But it's just like something like that.
Yeah.
It went well with the quote, La vida es una lucha. The struggle again, too.
Yeah.
But before that, I made my team go, let's watch the old movies of Santo. We went to see Santo versus La Vampira.
Mm,
They were screening it during last year in the summer. So we went to watch that, just to see these old ass movies, seeing how they were made.
right.
And, just doing a little bit of research, into the lucha libre. And from there,
Beautiful, beautiful.
it went.
Yeah, I mean, la vida is definitely a fight. La vida es una lucha, and you can't give up. There's a lot of battles you'll win. There's a lot of battles you'll lose, but the war is not over.
No, yeah,
Right?
definitely, definitely.
So once again, thank you guys. Thank you so much for the gift. Guess what? I got you too. I'm not gonna show it on camera because I don't have it on hand. But I got you with the Chilo Talk podcast shirt. He'll show that on his Instagram. I'm not lying. I'm not lying. I'm not just saying it. I got you right now. I just don't have it in hand. Actually, hold on. Little break. Keep talking to the camera.
So yeah, guys,
Sorry.
he was telling me, like, how he wanted to show off his shirt, and so I brought out my shirt and all of that. Yo, I think I got a cramp on my leg right now, and I don't think I can move my leg. Ow. Yeah, but like, do you guys know what pea is?
Whatever he just said sucks because I'm gonna cut it out anyways. I'm playing. I mean,
Nah, it sucked. It sucked.
all right. So here you go. I didn't mean to have it prepared, but as you know, here we go. We're trading gifts now.
Wow.
There you go, brother. I hope that fits.
XLE, okay.
Does that fit or no? Or is it smaller?
I like oversized.
Okay.
Just
cool.
because I don't know if you're gonna upset. I like cropping it.
No, bro. Do what you wish. Do what
Yeah.
you wish. I mean, this
I'm
one I
a
might
mop with
frame
it.
it, low key.
Look
Make
at
it
that.
part of
You
the
see that?
props.
It's fire. It's fire.
Wait, let's get a screenshot of that. And wait, let me get turn around. Yeah, I mean. Shout out to my designer too. I gotta shout out my designer. Shout out to my boy Spook. Black Diamond Studios. He's a beast. I know you shout out to your designer. Your design is amazing. I have to shout out my designer. He's the goat that created. I mean, it's obviously a parody of a childhood game. GTA. But he's done like the that really cool intro that you see, like the motion video, all of that. If you need any type of graphics, any type of flyers or anything not like that, be sure I'm gonna leave his stuff down below. I have to shout him out. He's not only he's my boy, but he's believed in the project from the jump. So shout out to my boy Spook in Black Diamond Studios. I'm gonna leave that down below. Once again, Julio, thank you so much for pulling up. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Con Tiempito. For Con Tiempito, shout out to him pulling up. And I mean, I gotta get him a shirt next time. I got you next time. But thank you so much. Thank you guys so much for watching. We had I would say a Cheeto talk today. Culture, breakups. Man, we hit almost everything.
Yo, we hit everything, bro. We was about to cry. Shit.
Yeah, about to cry. But thank you guys so much for watching. Once again, I apologize for the little break we had. I promise I did not intend to take as long as a break as I did. I'm trying to be as consistent as possible with this. There is no, slowing this down, or there is no, just a couple of episodes that I'm quitting. No, it's just for those people that if I had a couple of health issues. Uno que ya está viejo. La espalda, typical la espalda.
Facts.
But we're back and better than ever, and what better to have an episode with my brother Julio Con Tiempo and all the project he has going on. And yeah, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. We'll be putting up this episode as usual on a Wednesday, so if you're watching this, happy Wednesday, happy hump day. We'll be posting every other week, so to make sure you guys tune in for all the guests we have a lot of guests planned. So yeah, stay in tune. Anything else you gotta say?
That's it.
All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace.